You can't play a game you don't know the rules to.
Yes.
So again, doing my first tax return at an early age, man, it was just like I needed to learn the rules to money. We often play the money game, but we don't know the money rules. So we're going to constantly lose and be in a revolving cycle. Anybody ever know or notice businesses or people with money or business with money, they start giving out most of the money at the end of the year. Why? Because they have a strategy like, hey, you need to be able to donate such and such dollars so that you can lower your tax liability.
All right, welcome back to the Building Billions podcast. This conversation is no different, but today it's a little bit different for me. I'm not here to really interview. I'm here to learn. Last time, Xavier came through. I don't know if you watched podcast episode 1, but if you didn't, you definitely need to go back and watch that one because it went crazy. My phone been blowing up. Everybody want to know Xavier, so I had to bring him back. I had to have him come back to show you. You know, he talked real heavy on that last episode. Again, if you have not seen that episode, go back and watch episode 1 where he kind of broke down how he made 6 figures in 4 months doing taxes and how he is being impactful not only for himself, his family, and the community around him. So I had to bring Xavier back. I'm here to learn. I'm here to give y'all some gems from Xavier. What's up, my guy? Appreciate you for coming back, dog.
Appreciate you for having me back, man. It's great, man. I had to sit up, man. I get too relaxed, man. When I get to talking about something I got a passion for, something that I love, something that I know like the back of my hands, man. We get real nasty, get real down in the trenches with it. I want to appreciate you for bringing me back, man. I was a blessing that I was on episode 1, that I was the first guest, man. Again, like you said, it's been crazy ever since that episode. Everything has turned up, you know. It helped me turn up. It helped me start my processes and automations, you know, so that was good, man. So I appreciate you sincerely. I can't thank you enough for the opportunity, man.
Hey.
And just being able to help people, man. That's my main goal, being able to help people understand like there is a way out. You know, it's just like tapping in with the right people and getting the right information. You know, information changes situations all day, every day.
Facts.
So here talking about taxes, man. It goes back to what I said in the first podcast in episode 1, man. You can't play a game you don't know the rules to.
Yes.
So again, doing my first tax return at an early age, man, it was just like I needed to learn the rules to money. We often play the money game, but we don't know the money rules. So we're going to constantly lose and be in a revolving cycle. So understanding that, man, you get to thinking about, well, I began to think about like, what can I do that's recession proof? Taxes has to be paid. Taxes has to be filed. Like there's no way around it. That's how the system is, you know. And if you ain't doing it, you're gonna eventually have to do it, or they'll seize and put liens on everything that you got. So again, you have to do it. So building the business around that, I began to study taxes, going way back to when taxes first started, 1787. You know what I'm saying? Way back, you know, and then 100 years after that, 1760 in the 1860s, you know, that's when they was able to give tax refunds up to $200 million in promissory notes. So that's a whole nother level again when you start uncovering things and understanding money, what it is, and this thing that we need to go to our day-to-day lifestyle. You need to know, you know. So doing taxes and making the 6 figures in the amount of time that I do, it caused me to do consistent work, consistent research. You know, so in building relationships, that's major for me, you know, with your clients. If you're getting clients or whatever, you got to build a relationship with them. I want all my clients are like family, you know, as we talked about, you know, back then when I rented out the whole water park. You get what I'm saying? You know, it's for my people, like we family. Everything on me is good. It's like a barbecue, you know, so that's what I consistently build, man. As we go into this masterclass, man, I just want people to understand, like, for me, it's not about just getting money. For me, it's about helping the next person. So if I can help you and I can change your situation based off my knowledge that I have, the money, again, is just a byproduct. You get what I'm saying? Because now I'm using my expertise and my knowledge to help you either gain money or save money on taxes. So understanding when it came about and what was the purpose of it. People don't understand what the purpose of taxes is.
I don't.
So the purpose of taxes is to help the government run, you know, whether it's paying for government assistance programs. And that's really what got me, because I came from government living. You know, I came from housing, Section 8 in the hood. You get what I'm saying? So understanding that it's just like, okay, well, this is what this is used for. To be honest, man, I couldn't wait to start paying taxes because I got a different mind. It's not about take. Because I know once I start giving, that means I'm making a little something. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like now I'm able to pay in taxes. I feel good in paying in taxes. Not that now it as I learn and as I grow, it's about now learning the different strategies or whatever to incorporate so that I'm paying less taxes because all it is a game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, once you understand the game, you know how to play it. It's almost like beating them at their own game. Understanding the purpose of why it was created. Yeah, it was created for that. But if you look at it, most tax dollars come from businesses.
Okay.
Right, big businesses and all that, they have to pay in taxes. You get what I'm saying? That yeah, they get write-offs and deductions and credits and all that type of stuff. But those are the ones that are paying hundreds and billions of dollars in taxes so that things can run.
Okay.
So if you really look into it, the tax code is thousands of pages long. So I tell people there is never a time that I feel like I know everything. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I know enough to get you to the next level. That's what I do know. You get what I'm saying? And whatever level you at, there is a next level. Right. You know, and so like, and that's again kind of goes back to podcast one about having mentors and coaches, people that can help you. And so if I don't have the answer, I got somebody that do because I got paid mentors. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? That I can pick up the phone and I can call because I pay what I weigh. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? To get it. Kind of piggybacking, not to get off topic, but even with getting mentors and stuff like that, you bypass that process of having to go through all those mistakes and having to learn. If it was me and I had to go and read that tax code and from word, day to day, every day, I'm losing out on money first off because I'm spending my time on trying to learn.
Right.
You know, so like for anybody wanting to get in the tax industry that's been thinking about it or whatever, just start. That's what I would say. Just start. Never feel like because I felt like I needed to know such and such and such and such to get started. Mm-hmm. Right here in this masterclass, I'm gonna break it all down for you so you can get started, do taxes tomorrow. Okay. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So for me, that's the foundation. You know, nothing runs great for a long time without a good foundation. It's almost like building a house. If you build a house on sand, eventually when the flood come, when the water come, the house will fall. If you build a foundation on solid, on cement, on concrete, now you got a better chance of that house standing against the floods, against everything that's coming. So the little game I just dropped, man, that's just the foundation of it. You know what I'm saying? Just to let you know, hey, I really do this for real, man. I do this for bread and meat in real life. You know, being able to understand that. When as far as taxes, understanding what the IRS mean by certain words that they say, because just because you think that this word means this, the IRS means it means a whole different thing because that's written in their language. So understanding the language that the IRS speaks in, and it can get tricky because especially if you're not trained and you don't have anybody in your corner to be able to help you navigate and decode this process, then you will think that it's saying this, but it's really saying this.
Okay.
You know, and shout out to my tax attorney, the Walton group, the Walton firm. They definitely keep me on track to help me elevate and understand exactly what the law says about taxes as a whole and stand in compliance. And that's one of the first things that you need to understand.
Yeah,
because
in compliance.
In the tax industry, man, what you don't know will hurt you. And what you don't know will cost you.
Yeah.
Because when you get that IRS audit and they go through your files and see you haven't been doing your due diligence and filling out your 8867 and forms like that, you getting charged.
Okay.
You know, and I've seen stuff, people getting charged all the way over $100,000 just because of the amount of mistakes they made on on returns.
Right.
You know, so like due diligence is one of the most, or I would say honestly, is the most important thing because not only it's for your clients, but it's to protect you. I said all the time, cover your own asthma. You get what I'm saying? Cover your own, you get what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you good. And I tell people, if you strolling on Facebook and clicking on people pages, looking at trying to see what a drum is, if you going through your dude phone, you going through your woman phone, or you'll do great in due diligence because you knows it. So get nosy. You gotta get nosy to be in the tax industry. You gotta make it make sense. You know, so like if it don't make sense, I can't do it.
Right.
You know, so like because I understand that I'm on the line. I'm representing my clients saying that, hey, yeah, they have these documents, they did this, they worked at this place. Because why? I have the W-2 or I have the 1099 because they were self-contracted. So Learning the due diligence, again, that's just being nosy. Just
Okay.
point blank in layman terms, just
Being
be nosy.
nosy.
You know, and again, this is the masterclass, so I can be raw with it. You know, this how I
Yes.
teach my mentees. Like,
Teach me,
you
bro.
you can be nosy. You get what I'm
Alright.
saying? Understand, like, hey, like this not making sense. You
Okay.
can't tell me that you got a trucking business, and then but you went over here and you bought let's say some apples in a sense, and you wanted to be you want to write these apples off. It just don't make sense to me. You get what I'm saying? So like, you got a trucking business. Where does these apples fit in this trucking business? Don't get me wrong, it can, you know, but make it make sense to me. In my head, I already know in the sense how it could, but I need to ask you to make sure you understand, to make
Okay.
sure that what I'm putting down matches what you say you've done with it.
Okay.
And so that's a lot of things that happens, and even the tax code as it relates to business. It says anything that is necessary and ordinary. You know what I'm saying? So you look at the business or whatever that you got, and if it's necessary for the business or is it ordinary for the business. Again, apples aren't necessary for a trucking business.
That's a little ordinary.
You get what I'm
It
saying?
is a little ordinary. They get
I-
hungry.
they get hungry. It could be snacks. I get that. It
Okay.
could be snacks, nutritional value, so that you
Right.
can stay. I get it, but that's with me knowing where it can go. If you just gave me your itemized sheet and your breakdown, I will ask you, was that so that you can tell me that. You get what I'm saying? Because I
Okay.
don't want it. It's not about what I'm saying it is. It's what are you saying it is
Okay.
when I'm doing taxes. You get what I'm saying? And so any tax questions and stuff like that, I tell people, you know, to consult with a tax attorney, consult with your tax person, just so that you can know as we navigate this. And don't get mad if I say it don't make sense. So I'm not doing that. You get what I'm saying?
Nah.
Because again, my job is to cover my own ass. You get what
And
I'm
stay
saying?
compliant.
You gotta stay compliant. And again, that's kind of what due diligence is at,
Okay.
being nosy, and all that. So understanding why taxes were made, or really again for the companies, for business or whatever, because they bring in the most revenue versus an individual, right? Because individuals can only make so much most of the time. So if they get 20,000 from them, yeah, we in our head, we society makes us think that's a lot of money, you know, and it is a lot of money. But $20,000 compared to $1 million that this company pays in taxes, 20,000 is nothing. You know what I'm saying? So we have to realize that. With that being said, most of the tax code is geared toward business owners,
Okay.
right? So, but if you don't know, then you don't know what to say. You don't know how to go about it. So, with it being geared toward business owners, as I kind of mentioned about, I brought that up because a lot of right now in our area, I'm a millennial. You get what I'm saying? So, and we've been cracking some codes, man. Look, I'm proud of my millennials for
Cracking
sure. You
all the
know,
codes.
we've been cracking some codes, man. You know, and it feels good to be able to break these cycles, man. And I had a conversation with an old school, and he's just like, man, we taking the easy way out and all that. I said,
What did he mean by that? I mean, what was he trying to say?
man, he said we don't know how to work. That's basically what the niggas. I mean, that's basically what he told me. You know, and I mean, and it struck me. You get what I'm saying? Because I've been a hard worker. I've been working since I was 10, 11 years old, pushing lawnmowers across the yard for $25. You get
Right.
front and back, not just the front. You know, I'm going front and back for $25
Right.
just to make it. And I was at that age, I was probably like 3 feet 2 inches. Yeah.
Lawn more taller than
Lawn
you.
more taller than me, grass taller than me, and everything. You know, but you know, when he said that, you know, I come from working as a working young man, being again knowing my story, that, you know, coming from where I come from, foster care and all that, you know, it was making a means for myself and learning how to work, just so that if I ever was presented and I had to do it for the rest of my life, I know how to do it. You know, even now I know how to work. You know, but I'm a boss, man. Like I'm a CEO, you know, so I move like a CEO. So it's hard to work in the business and work on your business at the same time.
Right.
So when he said that, man, it struck a nerve, and I just told them, I said, most of everything that you all have taught us, it was your job as a man to create generational wealth for everybody that came from behind you. And ooh, he got mad.
Right.
He got mad.
He couldn't do that because he been working.
Exactly. You get what I'm saying? Your kids can sit there and say that, well, yeah, daddy couldn't make this because he was at work.
Right.
Daddy didn't make my games because he worked every Thursday. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that same thing that for my kids or whatever. Again, that's why I do what I do. But when he said that, it was just I explained to him that it's just a different mindset. We've seen y'all struggle and struggle so much.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And have nothing at the end, and we got to make GoFundMe's, and the family got to try to come together for a fish fry just to bury you.
Facts.
Because nobody understands financial literacy. Nobody understands the process and what we can do with group economics. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But now that we into that season, and now we got the internet. We got TikTok, and there's some fake gurus on there that just make stuff sound good. We got YouTube University. You know, we got Instagram. We got Facebook.
AI.
You got AI, bruh. AI is going ridiculously crazy, and I incorporated it in my tax business.
I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah, man. So, man, it's getting good, man. Look, it's just I want to go so many different places, but as far as let's say AI. With AI, you can train bots to put whatever you have on paper to put it within a bot, which is an AI bot. So whatever I have in my head, then I can put it on paper, give it to the AI so that it creates a little me.
Okay.
And that's what people should want, I would say. That's what I want because I can't do everything. You get what I'm saying? So being able to have a little me and creating a little me helps me offload tasks, help me respond better, help me to be able to give general information out with marketing. Like, it does so much. So yeah, AI is definitely taking over. Back to the masterclass because man, it's getting good. I'm gonna sit back a little bit.
Yes.
So with tax, you learn, where it came from. The reason for it. The tax code is built a lot around businesses.
So just to stop you for a second, I still don't know why do we pay taxes? Like, what is it built for? What is it for?
The taxes are built to pay debts.
Okay.
That the United States are in, and to make government operations run.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
And
so
why is it our responsibility to pay their debts and make their establishments run?
Man, so it could get, again, it's depending on how deep you want to go into it. Again, it's all honestly a game. That's all this stuff is. It's just a game. And when you learning to until you learn better, you have to kind of do what's needed in order until you find that door that lets you out of it. It's almost like a matrix. You in a matrix and you keep going around and around, and until somebody starts cracking the code on how this works, or to say that it's not my responsibility to pay your debt,
right?
Which is true, but then then you go back into if something happens, and then are we not trying to stay here in the United States, or do we want the United States out of debt? In a sense, yeah, it's way more than one person can handle, or whatever. But if we all chip in and do our part, or whatever, even though you may not be on Section 8 or whatever, you probably got aunties, you probably got cousins, you probably got a grandma that's just living on Social Security and disability alone. That's not enough to take care of her daily expenses. So now you got to pitch in. You know what I'm saying? Now that's taking money out of your pocket either way. You get what I'm saying? So instead of her, she's staying in a Section 8 apartment and her rent is $22 or whatever, that's because the government is paying the other $800.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? And so your little contributions even helps to that. So I tell people to think of it on a level and from a humble place. Okay. You get what I'm saying? Although the world is big and the United States has done its own damage and done all of that, we are here. So, and if you don't want to be here, then go. You get what I'm saying? Because there are places that you don't have to worry about taxes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So,
but as of right now, right here, right now, we got to pay taxes, so.
And just by you breaking that down, I already got a better respect for taxes automatically right now.
Yeah.
I feel like I should be cool with it.
Just do your part. Just do your part. And again, like with learning taxes, there are strategies and tax strategies and things and people out here that can really help you. Even though you're making money, you put it in vehicles that become non-taxable, which is where the IRS doesn't tax you on this money because you took it through a certain avenue or whatever, but then it rolls all the way back to you. So there are ways, and that goes with tax strategies and tax planning and stuff like that, to be well versed on how do you make money and keep money within at the same time.
So you mentioned strategies. Let's kind of stay on that point
hmm
for a moment. Give me a strategy. If I'm a W-2 employee, I'm not a business owner. What is a strategy that I can kind of alleviate my taxes as a W-2 employee?
So I look at taxes like this, especially like when we speak about tax refunds. When you think about what a tax refund, when you think about what a refund is, what is a refund to you?
Get my money back.
Get my money back. That's the exact same thing that a tax refund is. So if you look at a W-2, you fill out a W-4 when you first get a job, which talks about your withholdings.
Okay.
If your as a strategy for you would be as a W-2 employee, one, make sure that your W-2 is filled out properly. Because again, is the government necessarily doesn't want to give you money, especially if we're already in debt. It's not just like, hey, well, hey, take all this money or whatever the case may be. Like they really want us individuals to break even.
Mm,
So if you're paying the right amount of taxes, when it come down to refunds or whatever, you may get little to none unless you overpay in taxes on your for the year.
okay.
So I tell people look at it as if either you want your money at the beginning of the year during tax season, or you want it during the year. If you want it at one time during
Right.
tax season, then that means you need to be paying them folks off from your job. Let them take out the correct amount of taxes so
Mhm.
that when you do file your tax return, you able to get it back. You know what I'm saying? You're taxed on how much you make.
So you said, is it important? So when I first start that W-2 job and they give you that form to fill out, is there some importance in that form that I should know while filling that out when I first start that job?
It's some very important information.
Because
That
I
is,
just be checking
yeah,
boxes.
man, stop doing that. Don't do that.
Well,
no
I did,
more.
I
You
did, I
did.
did.
Yeah, before you came big dog. Yeah. But yeah, there are a lot of them, and they updated it here in the last couple of years on how it is. Um, I tell the filling it out correctly, whether you're single, head of household, married, and how many dependents that you have. The thing of it is, the more dependents that you say that you're taking care of, the less money that they're going to take out of it,
Okay.
right? Because if you tell me like, hey, Zay, look, I'm taking care of me, I got my wife, we got kids or whatever, and you put down 4 dependents, and it's like you really need every penny that's coming into the door.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You don't really need to be taxed because you need everything that you got. So you're telling the government when you put how many dependents on there, in the sense, how many people you're filing on your tax return. So
Mm-hmm.
what people mess up at is they may have 3 kids in them. So it may be 4 that they may put down on there. But when they file taxes, they carrying 2 kids and then they letting somebody else carry the other kid or something. Now it doesn't match up to what you put on this first W-4 form when you filled out this job.
Okay.
You know, and so like that's how taxes kind of get off balance and off level. Some people just can put whatever they want to put on it. They may put
Yeah,
exempt. If they put
exactly.
exempt, that means they don't want no taxes taken out and they're supposed to take care of the taxes on their own. You know what I'm saying? But again, that doesn't happen. They put exempt so that they can get all their money and they don't have the federal income tax taken out. Social Security tax and Medicare tax is something that we can't touch. That's going to forever be there, in a sense, because it takes care of Medicare and the Social Security. Although I have a different perspective on that, because even looking at what just happened with the retirements and all that, people money getting took or whatever.
Medicaid
Yeah,
and slash.
exactly. So you paying in this money all this time or whatever, and then it gets took. Me personally, as a millennial, I don't believe that Social Security will be around by the time I get of age.
Can you get around not paying Social Security taxes?
Nah, you can't get around it.
Okay.
No, it's already calculated.
It
You
is.
get what I'm saying? Based off of whatever you make.
I never saw a box that you can check and say, I don't want to take this out.
Exactly. The only thing you are halfway in control of is the federal income tax box.
Okay.
So again, it's filling it out properly for what you're going to file on your tax return.
Yeah, and you mentioned dependents. Now, this may have been clickbait that I seen on Instagram because I'm just scrolling on YouTube University.
Yeah.
But I hear that you can put your dog as a dependent. I take care of my dog. I feed him. I take him to the vet. I do all this stuff.
Nah, no, a dog is not a dependent. A dog don't even have what's the social security number, man? Like, where is he registered at? We need more than AKC and ICCL paperwork, man. Hey, we need to know that this is a living person that the government knows.
I got you.
Whatever. So it's not a dog,
Okay.
not an animal. I got big snakes. You get what I'm saying? You know, if I could
They
write them
depend
up-
on you though.
You're right. They do depend on me, you know, but that's something that I do, you know, for my pleasure. But at the same time, it is a business. I got an exotic animal business,
Okay.
or whatever. So the things again that kind of goes into the writing off of business expenses and stuff like that. Me having to feed my animals that I do have or whatever, the feeding that I do weekly or whatever, I can write that off because that is a necessary
Tax strategy,
right
there.
That's ordinary and necessary. It's
Right.
ordinary and necessary for you to feed your livestock or for you to feed your animal that's making you money within your business.
So that's a tax strategy right there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
If I got pets, I got animals, I have to feed them, I got to take care of them. I create me a business where it's necessary and ordinary to do so. There you go.
Exactly. You know, so a lot of people have dog breeding businesses. You get what I'm saying? You got a dog and you going into breeding or whatever the case may be. You know, now that's when that dog, you can write that dog off as now as an asset and not a liability, because the IRS states anything that you do in an attempt to make money is a business. If you attempt to make money with the business, which means if you look at businesses, all businesses don't consistently make money. Why you think some of them shut down? Why you think some of them file bankruptcy? You get what I'm saying? You know, so every business is not profitable.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So you got to understand what works for you. What are you really doing and able to have paperwork behind you? Keeping documents, man.
Okay.
That's a thing that I can give to the world. Like, keep y'all documents. You gotta document the things that you do, especially for my business owner, my content creators. You get what I'm saying? My tax pros, my software owners, my credit repair people. Like, keep your documents so that when the IRS comes back and asks you about these things, you're able to provide.
But
you're able to prove
how
to them.
realistic is that though? You know, keeping documents is so tough. Do you have like some tools that you can recommend that can kind of keep me organized with those documents?
Yeah, so it's about documentation. Documentation beats conversation all day, every day. We can talk about anything, but what's on this black and white?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if you writing down, let's say mileage for instance, a lot of people like to play around with that. But if you saying that, hey, I had to, let's say the podcast.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, this podcast.
Let's say podcast. If you driving from where you at to this building or whatever, those are business miles, because it's almost like you're going to work in a sense, right? You know. So, but let's say you go tomorrow and you go to McDonald's. You know, you write it down to say that, but that's not real. You going to McDonald's. You get what I'm saying? Every mile isn't a business mile. So it's about saying like, okay, I drove from my house to the studio to record my podcast. Those are mileage that I can write off, you know. And so now I go to McDonald's or whatever the case may be. That's outside of your business expense. That's not ordinary and necessary for you to go to McDonald's. You're choosing to go to at that moment.
Okay.
And a lot of people try to get real savvy with it to say like, okay, well, yeah, I had to go to McDonald's to get me something to eat, and because my business, I need to eat for my business, like all of that. Like, you playing, it's a gray area in a sense. You get what I'm saying? You begin to play a dangerous game when you trying to beat them at their own game.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
They created all the rules.
They created all the rules. So the best thing that you can do is learn the rules to this stuff.
Yes.
When you learn the rules to it, you begin to be untouchable. You know, in the sense that everything lines up, and now you're not scared of no audit. You know, you're not scared of what's coming for you, because you doing your due diligence on what the same way a tax preparer does their due diligence as a business owner, as not just a business owner, but as a client, a taxpayer. You know what I'm saying? Do your due diligence. Make sure you're doing everything that you got going on, so that when you do get to me, then hey, it's a smooth flow. You know how to respond. We know how to make this thing work. The difference in a lot of tax professionals these days is that I call them data entry clerks. All they doing is entering in your data. You give them a W-2, they put it in and put the kid in or whatever the case may be, and boom, you it's on to the next. Being a difference in knowing this and knowing that, hey, we could do this, and the third. I ask probing questions. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I ask, hey, did you have a business? You get what I'm saying? What did you do with the business? When did you start this business?
Okay.
Did a vehicle participate in your business? Do you have a home office? You got how many square feet is your home office? Now I'm being nosy. You get it? But that's my due diligence.
Right.
So now you're not just another person to me. Now you become a client that your family. Now I'm helping you navigate to find what's best for you.
I got you.
I'm not allowing the system to generate everything. If I know something, I'm gonna ask. Prime example, gym nugget for somebody. There is a Medicaid waiver payment to where if you are getting paid to take care of someone that's in your home, most of the time it happens with family members or something like that. You getting paid to take care of someone in your home from the state or from a Medicaid agency or whatever. That income is not taxable, but there are certain forms and certain ways that you have to put this stuff in. So does that. I had one client where I learned this set, and it was about 3 years ago.
Okay.
And she actually brought it to my attention.
Right.
She was like, hey, look, I do this, and third. I was reading kind of on this, and it said that as long as I'm getting paid and they live with me, then the income that I have that I get is not taxable. I said, okay, cool. I get to research, and now I'm looking, and so I read it, and it said exactly that. So the money that she was getting, she paid taxes on it, right? The Medicare taxes, Social Security tax, and federal income tax.
But she was supposed to be paying that.
So paying federal. So that's that's kind of one of those things to, if you want your money right then, you get it. If you want it at the beginning of the year, then we file it on the taxes. Right. So all the money that she had paid in, we was able to basically generate that back in because that taxable income, that money that she made with it was not taxable. But she paid taxes on it.
So if you have a Medicaid recipient at home that you're taking care of, that money that you get paid to take care of that kid at home is not taxable.
Right.
Man, I may have a lot of clients for you because I'm a Medicaid provider with my home health care agencies, and we provide the parents with jobs to be able to take care of their kids. The government will pay you to take care of your kid, but you have to be under a provider like me to pay you. Medicaid pays me. I pay the parent to take care of the kid. So you saying that money is not taxable?
Exactly, because if they're in the house with the child and they're getting paid by a state agency, a Medicaid agency, or whatever, it's because the money is to take care of the child or take care of the adult or whatever the case may be. That
makes sense.
You get what I'm saying? So and because you look at it, most of these companies getting from really honestly start in the grant area. You get what I'm saying? It's free money given to them so that you can do this, and the third. You have people passionate about
so how you
these
gonna tax that? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you have people passionate about these things that's giving money to be able to make these things run. You get what I'm saying? And again, man, that's a blessing, just knowing that you do those type of things. But man, and again, like nobody teaches us to be, in a sense, a boss. You get what I'm saying? They teach us to go to school and go ask somebody for a job instead of being the one to create jobs. So I commend you for being able to have and provide jobs to communities. You get what I'm saying? Whether they're underserved families or families that's doing well, being able to provide an extra stream of income for them is major, which is something that we all should be striving to do, is to create jobs. It's not the presidency and the government job just the only ones to create jobs. We can do that right here, right now. You doing it. You get what I'm saying? Like you somebody hero. Somebody keeping the lights on because of you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You really out here changing lives, and like that type of stuff is, man, I get passionate about it, man, because like you just don't find too many people that got the mindset to do those type of things because we just trapped in boxes, man. And as long as we continue to let people in the society dictate what we do and how we do it, then we gonna stay there. We have to break those cycles to be able to go to the next level. It's the only thing. My bad. I'm getting off task in the tax masterclass.
Like that. That makes sense. That's going to help a lot of people, especially the people that fit in that criteria that they are taking care of their kids at home. They are Medicaid recipients. I'm pretty sure they are paying taxes and don't know and don't have the strategies in place.
Exactly. I learned it 3 years ago. and it was from a client, and so I had to go back and amend all her tax returns because her previous tax preparer wasn't knowledgeable on that and just didn't do it. So like if you don't know something, then again it will hurt you, and so the IRS says it itself. Taxpayers leave millions of dollars on the table every year.
And they're not gonna educate you on how to get it back.
No, go read that tax code that's thousands and thousands of pages long. Go find it, go figure it out for yourself.
Wow.
But again, I bypass all of that. I'm constantly learning, constantly trying to find ways on whether it's tax strategies, whether it's dealing with certain people. Again, that's a target audience, Medicaid recipient. That's for all my tax preparers out there. If you watching this, make you a target audience. Study this stuff so that you can be knowledgeable and you ain't just talking about it. Hey, look, hold on. I know we watching the Building Billions podcast. Y'all seen episode 1. Y'all learned a little bit about me. Here I am again. This is a special offer just for you to get in with me to learn everything about taxes, software, everything you need to know. We can get it done for you. Click the link below and you're going to get it in. Let's get it. Like you really know what you're talking about and now you ready to execute, and just don't be just a data entry clerk. Please don't. Like stop that, And so being in this industry, that's what I definitely want to bring back, the knowledge and the integrity in this business, just to be able to continue to help the economy, our economy run. And when I say our economy, it's not just a specific race or anything like that. Everybody is in my eyes, is at the same level. We all should be learning. We all are students in the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm a student, but I'm an expert at the same time. I'll forever be a student. So with me constantly educating myself and getting in the right rooms and learning this information to change lives, bro. Again, like that's all I want to do. I just want to change lives. If I could change the whole world, I would. But I'm not everybody's tax pro. You get what I'm saying? I'm not everybody's mentor, and I'm okay with that. As long as I'm able to help one person, I'm great. Every day going to sleep like that makes me feel great that I have the knowledge to help somebody.
Yes. So if I'm a W-2 employee and I come to you, what do I need to bring? Just my W-2s from my jobs that I've worked, or do I need to bring other stuff as well?
So for me personally, at my office, there's always been a back and forth within the tax industry, whether you require documents or whether you don't require documents. My office, I require documents. So that's an ID, Social Security card, just so I can confirm that you are who you say you are. Right there, Social Security card, your W-2s, any other tax form that you're supposed to file, and that's a big thing that I speak on, because a lot of times people say like, oh, well, I don't need to file this W-2. Oh, it wasn't nothing but this, and I'm not going to file this. Or I made too much money on this W-2, so I'm going to leave this one off and, wait till next year. And that's the biggest myth that's out here for people. They say that you can leave a W-2 off this year and file it on next year's return. You are being taxed on the year that you're filing taxes.
Right.
So right now, when 2026 roll around, everything that you've done in 2025, that we're doing your 2025 tax return. So now we have to put everything that happened in 2025. If you wait and skip something on 2025 and now we get to 2027 January, now we're doing stuff for 2026. Now you want to bring me a W-2 from 2025 and now it messes everything up. Like everything is supposed to be for the year that you made the money, or that you had the earnings, that you took the business loss. Everything is supposed to be within that year. So definitely the ID, Social Security card, W-2s, any other forms that you may have, any other income that you may have, so that I can input it in the system. And then I'll begin to ask probing questions to see exactly where we can get you tax deductions at, where we can get tax credits at, whether they're refundable or non-refundable credits.
Now, what if I just come with my ID and social? I done worked 5 jobs, but all I got is my ID and social. Can you still help me?
I can still help you. I can send you to the IRS website and get your wages and income transcript. Okay. That I'll walk you through with to show you exactly how to get that. And it can go back. If you 5 years or 4 years behind or whatever the case may be, we can go. The IRS has that information, because again, remember, whatever job that you work, or even if you let's say jobs first, whatever jobs that you work, they're writing your income off that they gave you. They writing it off because they didn't make that money. They gave that money out.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So anything that you supposed to file, the IRS already has it.
Okay.
You know, so like it does you know justice to leave stuff off
Right.
because they already got it. Now you stuck in the audit to say like, hey, your tax return doesn't match with what we got. Now the IRS is like, hey, are you lying or is this company lying? Because it can happen.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So like now, but like if you know you work these jobs and you just leaving stuff off, they're going to catch it. And they may not catch it the first time around. They might not catch it the second time around. It may be 3-4 years before they come back. But just know they coming.
How far can they go back and catch someone?
Man, it's not even a realistic time. It's the IRS, bro. You get what I'm saying? It's one of the most powerful gangs in the world.
Okay.
You know, so like seeing that everything that goes on and how the society operates, man, it's just like cover your ass. You get what I'm saying? Like just make sure that you're doing everything that you got. You doing it right. I was taught like never play with 3 letters, the I, the R, and the S. You get what I'm saying? And I find it so mind-boggling that people want to play with them when it came to PPP, when it came to the unemployment, when COVID was here, when it came to all this stuff, and like y'all really finna play in these folks' face? Like you really finna play in these folks' face that got access to everything. That got access to everything in the world, your bank account, they can see everything.
I think a lot of people just think they're invisible to Uncle Sam.
They think they too small. Huh?
Yeah.
They like, oh, look, $20,000, $30,000 ain't gonna hurt the government. Man, they coming for all of that. You get what I'm saying? And the craziest things, man, being in the industry, the IRS pays attention more closely to the smaller people than they pay to the big people.
Goodness gracious.
Like truly, man, like they pay attention to the small because they know. And again, with us being millennials and everything that goes around, the IRS can check all social media. That you don't think is secret IRS agents in these groups, or you know they track it, looking at the page.
What about the people that be stretching all the money and stuff on? You think that's smart?
Man, no, sir. For what? Why? Why are you doing that? You're telling somebody the word that you have money, but then you get over here on taxes and say that you don't have any money. That don't make no sense. Like, but everybody want to be flashy. Everybody want to show this. Everybody want to show that. Show them. And honestly, it probably ain't got nothing for real. You get what I'm saying? Probably their homeboy money. You get what I'm saying?
At least that's what they gonna say.
That's what exactly. You get what I'm, so like it's about moving strategically and smart to know like this stuff can go so crazy. I can only imagine what the government is about to do with AI for themselves. You get what I'm saying? If I'm able to incorporate it within my tax business and in the businesses that I got going on, what can the government do with this stuff?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it was a bill that just passed, the One Big Beautiful Bill by Trump, passed July 4th. You know, and it became law. You know, and you can go check it out on IRS.gov website, Congress.gov. You know, it's passed. And so it's a lot of stuff in there. I encourage all my tax professionals to definitely go check that out and read and get updated. Standard deduction is a thing that's going if tax rates are getting cut. And again, a lot of things are happening for businesses and for the personal thing, for the personal individuals too. So being knowledgeable, man, and like staying up to date. Like when you passionate about helping people, man, you have no choice. I have the apps on my phone, like what Congress doing, what's going on that's related to the tax industry.
So why do you think Trump did that? Do you know why he did that? And who does it help and who does it hurt?
So it helps everybody to an extent.
Okay.
I would say there's a thing in there about tips. There are a lot of people that get tips as their major tips. So if I can remember correctly, the threshold with tips is about $25,000 that they're able to deduct from what they made. So even with that, that's where I was going with the AI. They're coming. They have already announced that they have a better way of tracking tips that are getting, because now we're gonna give you this tax break. Obviously, we need to hone in on some stuff to make sure that it is what you say it is. Because everybody that get tips, they may get cash tips. You get what I'm saying? Everything is not reported on a W-2. So you may work at this job getting these tips, and they may have it down there in the box that it's supposed to go. But in all actuality, you probably done got $10,000 tips in cash.
I think it's gonna come to a point where everything's just digital currency, and that's how they're gonna track it.
Oh yeah, digital currency is definitely up. You
That's
know what
gonna
I'm saying?
be
Because
scary.
They have to. It is. You get what I'm saying? Because now it is no way. The IRS want to know everything. You get what I'm saying? As a professional tax preparer with professional tax software, they used to ask a question about digital currency if you have it or whatever the case may be. Now I just went to the IRS conference. I go to all of them every year. Just went to the conference and they're releasing the actual form that had that stuff has to be tracked. Because why? They got enough yeses. They got enough people to say like, okay, yeah, you telling me they eased it in a sense. It was just like, hey, do you have digital currency? You say yeah or whatever. You know, like hey, it ain't no log in it. You
It's
can't
just
say
a
I
box
can't
to
have
click.
it. Yeah, it was just a box to click. They got enough yeses for them to say, okay, enough people got digital currency. We need to know where this money is because you could get digital currency and be able to sell it and trade it and make money within that area and nobody knows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're not on a certain platforms and stuff like that, and you're not getting the dividends and the 1099Bs and 1099Ds and stuff like that, then it's untraceable money. You know what I'm saying? So the IRS got enough yeses to be able to put that now on the tax return. Now it has to be tracked. Now it has to be put in about how many earnings you got, how much money you made in this area and stuff like that. They want to know everything. So it's just like, it's coming to a point of like you just gotta have your stuff together. Like you gotta it's time to stay off the fence and trying to do wrong and trying to do right. Like it's just time to get right. You get what I'm saying? That reminded me of church, man. You know, it's just time to get right.
Time to get right.
Yeah, so that's what it is, man. It's just time to get right. You don't know where. I look at it, man, like this. So much been going on. You get kind of back to your question, how far can they go back? If they got this AI stuff and all this stuff going on, they can go back 20 years or let's just say a person can did something way back then or whatever, and now the IRS catching and come back and say something to you about it. Now you facing jail time or fines or whatever the case be. God forbid that doesn't happen because hopefully let your bygones be bygones or whatever. And now you on the straight and narrow, but just know anything that you do can come back on you. So like that's why it is very important to be a knowledgeable tax preparer.
Yeah.
You know, my name behind this stuff. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
The IRS know my name.
So do you have to have like a certain code to file taxes? Like, do you have to have a certain relationship with the IRS to be the person you are?
So yeah, so you have to have a P10. So a P10 is a prepared tax identification number.
Okay.
So which means you're getting paid to do tax returns.
Okay.
So you have that now that registers with the IRS to say like how when you're using professional software, your P10 should already be in there, and so like your P10 is basically your identification number for the IRS.
Okay.
It's not Xavier Clark. Yeah, they know my name, but they really identify me by this right here, this P10 number. This P10 number is also attached to my social security number. You get what I'm saying? So it's attached to me all the way around. So yeah, you definitely have to have one of those. You have to be up to date with your taxes.
So you got to be up to date with your taxes.
Oh yeah,
before you can do mine.
Yeah, but it makes sense. It makes sense. Like, how can I be out here?
That's a good selling point, though.
Yeah,
I never thought about that.
Yeah, it is. And again, I know people, and people in the industry that hasn't filed taxes, so it is I would say a gray area that you can slip through.
Okay.
But just of that thing that they have in place is good. It just needs to be tightened up.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? But because if
tighten it up, get them out the way, man, so Xavier can shine.
IRS, if you're listening to this, if you ever see this, get that together. You need everybody that owe taxes or that's not on a payment plan or that haven't filed taxes. They don't need to be filing these other people's taxes. Thank you, IRS. But it makes sense, man. Like, how can I tell you about something and I'm not doing it?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm
telling you hey, you need to file taxes, but I'm not filing taxes.
Right.
That it don't make sense. You know, again, so I'm happy to pay in taxes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe on a payment plan sometimes, but hey, I'm glad that I can do it.
Right.
But it's there. The IRS know it's there.
Right.
So yeah, definitely gotta have be up to date. That man, as we said, last on the first podcast, man, I'm a 2-time felon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter about that. Like they allow people. It's almost like a second chance.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? To be able to do something and work with them to be able to say like, hey, it's like, hey, I know I messed up or whatever, but hey, I want to do taxes. You know, and the only other thing IRS only thing that I really dislike about it is that anybody can do it without proper training.
Mm.
The IRS doesn't have anything in place to say that, hey, you have to do this or take this course to show that you're knowledgeable to even work with us.
So how do I find the perfect tax strategist? Like, what am I looking for? Do you got certain certificates that kind of outshine somebody else? Or like, what am I looking for when I'm trying to find a tax strategist? Since you don't have to have accolades or guidelines.
You have to have results. Results are gonna be anything. You
Okay.
get what I'm saying? And so I'm not big on education, because I feel like formal education to make you a living, self-education to make you a fortune. So I read a lot of books. I have I have mentors to help me navigate my process, and I study to comprehend and understand, and I ask questions. So there aren't any specific things that you need to be
The results. You
to
already
be.
said it.
It's the results. You get what I'm
that
saying.
makes
So
sense.
man, I can tell you now, it's people with CPAs, it's people with all these accolades, and I can run circles around them, because you're going off of what a book taught you. I'm going off real experience. I'm going off of what this law says and all that. Not saying that you don't have that and you're not capable of it, but with me putting in, I'm gonna outwork you. I'm gonna outwork anybody with a piece of paper.
Right.
Yes, sir. So yeah. But yeah, that with not having that, it does allow room for many scammers or people who not as passionate and knowledgeable in the areas to do it. And now, like, if it's your friend doing it, it's a trusted friend. Yeah, you may be they dummy client. You get what I'm saying? And so, do you want them messing up on your stuff? You get what I'm saying? So like, it's kind of like, hey, like, and I tell people, I support my friends. I support people in what they do. But if you just started, because I was there, I was the one with no clients when I first started, with zero clients. Everybody starts with zero.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I reflect on me and how I wanted to be. I wanted somebody to give me a chance. You get what I'm saying? So now if somebody starts a business or starts something or whatever, my thing is like, who are you getting mentored by, or who's with you? How long have they been in the industry? You know what I'm saying? Are you really learning from them? Or how this is going to work? You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, I can accept that it's your first time, but what does your process look like? And it don't have to be having all the accolades or whatever, but let me know that that you're connected to somebody that's doing it right.
Okay. So we went over W-2 employee. Now, if I'm a business owner and I'm coming to you to do my taxes, what do I need to bring to the table?
Your ID, any income that you had, whether it's from CashApp, whether you got merchant accounts, 1099Ks, whether you got PayPal, wherever you're receiving money for your business at. If you're accepting cash, all those cash transactions, let me know all of that.
Do those like PayPal and Cash App, do they give you like tax forms at the end of the year?
Yeah, so after a certain amount of money that you have passed through there, they send a 1099K, because again, anything that happens, the IRS needs to know. So the merchants have to report to the IRS that, hey, yeah, you saw this money coming into this merchant account, but then I gave it to this person. This person made this amount of much money,
Right.
but then I taxed my 3% or whatever transaction fees and all that. So that's how they have to report their earnings and stuff like that. So yeah, they give a 1099Ks.
Okay.
That's what's out from PayPal, Cash App, Stripe. Any merchant or whatever. Most merchants, definitely you have to have it square. You definitely want to make sure that, and I've seen people get messed over by not reporting that.
Let me ask you this now. So I know a lot of people in the financial realm that kind of do stuff with money in their merchant accounts. Would you think it's smart to kind of like turn credit to cash through your own merchant account?
For all y'all that's out here manufacturer spending, man, shout out to I've been there. So I think the thing of it is you have to understand the tax liability that you're gonna have, and how it makes you look. Because for all business owners, what I explain to my tax clients, how do you want to look on paper? You know what I'm saying? You can tell me that you made $200,000, but then you come in and say that you had $175,000 worth of expenses. That means your business only profited $25,000. Is that a good look for you? And now that rolls over into real estate, because they're going to ask for your tax returns. So now on your tax return, you might have made money, but just to get a refund or to reduce your tax liability, you done wrote everything off. Now it's hard for you to get that house that you want because you want
Now
it.
you ain't making no money.
You ain't making no. You made $25,000
Now you can't get a house.
after your expenses.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So dealing with merchant accounts and manufacturer spending and stuff like that, you definitely want to understand the risk of it is because you getting taxed on that money.
Yeah.
That's just that. You know, unless you sending somebody a 1099 after you do that to say that, hey, I'm gonna do this and we do this. I'm gonna send you a 1099K and you report that to the IRS.
So that's what they need to do.
Somebody gonna get taxed on the money. Now you using a credit card to turn credit into cash. Now you got the interest rate to worry about and you got to pay taxes on this because you want to do this way.
So not a smart move.
It's depending on your strategy.
Okay, strategy.
That's what I would
have
say.
the right strategy
because again, I mean, hey, you know about the credit, man. If we manufacture spend some money, man, and we go and pull $20,000 out, and we going to go put down on this property, and this property going, we finna fix and flip, and it's gonna bring us $50,000. I can accept that interest fee and that little tax money. Let's say all that together is $5,000. I still pocket $15,000.
Okay,
let's do it. You get what I'm saying?
So you gotta have the right strategies.
Have the right strategies.
Okay,
that's the whole thing about it. Making sure you got the right strategies. And if you don't have the right strategy or you don't know which way to go, get in touch with somebody that do. Like that's it. That's the one of the best things that I've done is rub shoulders with people who can help me. It's not about just what I can get from you. And it's not about me knowing everything, but I just need to be accessible and get access to people that can. I don't have to do everything. I don't want to do everything. I used to. That was when I was young. I'm grown now.
Now break this strategy down for me. So I've heard this in the past, like you make too much money, but I'm gonna go buy some depreciating assets. Why do people? What is that strategy? Like I'm gonna go buy some cars. I'm gonna go buy land. I'm gonna go buy houses because I don't want to pay taxes. So I'm gonna go buy something that depreciates. Do you know about that strategy?
Most definitely. So again, it's a strategy, and it's depending on what strategy works best for you because either way, those are avenues to get depreciation and to bring your tax liability down so you're not paying in so much taxes. It kind of goes even into businesses or whatever. If anybody ever know or notice, businesses or people with money or business with money, they start giving out most of the money at the end of the year. Why? Because they have a strategy that, hey, they strategists say like, hey, you need to be able to donate such and such dollars so that you can lower your tax liability. And so now they need proof of that or whatever. So now they able to do that. So all my nonprofit organizations and stuff like that, if you're filling out for grants and stuff like that, go toward the sweet spot is at the end of the year because those at the determining depending on where the tax strategist says it is, if that company hasn't paid in or given enough money out or bought enough depreciating assets or whatever, then they just give the money away because it's better for them to give it away than be taxed on it.
And then at the end of the year, you got a clear vision on how much you're gonna owe.
Exactly.
So now you know how much you got to give out.
Yeah. You know, so and that comes with having people making sure that they're working your books. They know how much coming in, how much coming out. So most big businesses, they already have that stuff in place and they're paying quarterly taxes. They pay taxes by the quarter.
Yeah.
Which I mean that's 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Instead of just at the beginning of the year paying this one big lump sum. And honestly, that's good because now you don't have to worry about being this. If you made $100,000, if I made 6 figures in 4 months, that's the first quarter. Man, let me go ahead and get these folks say $30,000-$40,000 and go ahead or whatever. And again, but it's dependent on the strategy. So now if I do that and I'm steady going on and I'm learning where to put money at to do this and third, when I file my taxes, now, hey, remember that payment I gave you back in May? For that $30,000, and now you gave some credits. This law just passed. Now all that money that I gave in is going to cover what I'm supposed to pay, and now I may get a $15,000-$20,000 refund back. You get what I'm saying? So it's all about the strategy when it come down to bigger things, I would say. And I mean, you can do it on a smaller level. That's what I do recommend people to start at. Do it on a small level to kind of see how this thing's go. And then once you learn the foundation and the principles of it, then you just apply it on a major scale. And you know, and that's how you constantly grow and just build on top of building on top of it, almost like the snowball effect when you're paying off credit cards or debt or whatever. It's like make it a snowball effect. Start with your little snowball and just keep on rolling. Once you keep on rolling, you going more and more snow gonna get on there. Now you got a big ass snowball. You know, so Definitely, it's definitely needed, man. Definitely in our community, man.
You spoke about nonprofits. What is a nonprofit?
So a nonprofit is a entity that doesn't operate for money.
Okay.
The sole purpose of it, most of them is to help people in some capacity, in
Okay.
some way. So being a nonprofit, you're eligible for the different grants and stuff like that people, if I come to you and I say that, hey, I want to be able to help foster kids have a more stability coming out of high school, and I want to open up a nonprofit that's centered straight toward that. I'm asking for a $20,000 grant. Understanding what the pain points of people are. Kids, education are two of the pain points of people. People care about kids. You get what I'm saying? What have a kid done to you? Like, oh, I feel sorry for that kid, or whatever case. I want this kid to have a better life. So when for all my nonprofiters out there, make sure that your vision and your blueprint to your business is centered around things that people need, and it goes out based off the wording. You get what I'm saying? How are you wording what you really need? Are you putting it again in the terms of layman terms and terms that people from the hood can help you understand, or you put it in terms that people that with the money that really want to help you understand?
Keep teaching, brother.
He said,
I'm listening. I'm just learning.
Yeah, man. It's the text again is so broad, and it's a never ending cycle. You know what I'm saying? It's so many scenarios and so many things that we can cover. Kind of back to your point about business owning, because we do have a lot of content creators, a lot of credit repair, a lot of tax agents, a lot of people that are doing things based off of 1099, whether that's DoorDash, freelancing. You know what I'm saying? Gig workers. There you definitely want to keep all your stuff together. And so even if it's not, we're over the stage of keeping all the receipts or whatever, but are you writing things down? Again, documentation beats conversation any day. You can't just sit here and tell me that, hey, I spent $5,000 on this lawnmower or whatever. Like, hey, let me document that. Write it down and let me know what you've done, what finances, where you've came out of. And again, people have to understand with taxes, that I spoke on a little bit about real estate, how it goes into that, because mortgage loan officers and stuff like that, like, they want your tax return to really see what you've done. People got to understand, banks don't trust you, they trust other banks. And the IRS is essentially like the biggest bank. You get what I'm saying? So if I can pull this information from the IRS website, it beats what you're saying. Documentation beats conversation. So you can tell me you made $300,000, $400,000, but what does this paperwork on this from the IRS say? So you want to be careful about choosing a tax preparer. You want to be careful about who you get mentored by. A lot of people, and don't get me wrong, I stay up to date on the scams that's going on. You want to know why? Because I want to be able to teach my mentees what not to do and what not to fall for, right? And I want to be knowledgeable when I feel like a client trying to pull something over my eyes.
All right, teach me on two up-to-date scams that's going on in the tax game, because I'm your mentee right now.
Yeah, so one of the biggest thing that was going on here was the fuel credit. People were saying that they would been buying fuel because there was a big tax break on it. Or whatever. And so now it was allowing clients to get the $20,000, $15,000 with just them on there, because they getting money from saying that they put so much, they spent so much in fuel, or bought so many gallons of fuel or whatever. The thing about that is, it just don't make sense.
Right.
How are you a W-2 employee that makes $15,000, $20,000 a year, and you telling these folks you done bought $100,000 gallons? I mean, $100,000 or 100,000 gallons of gas.
You driving an 18-wheeler to Popeyes every day.
Man, they doing something, but it just don't make sense.
Right.
So that was a big thing. The next thing, man, is the household employee credit.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, so basically they saying that they've been a household employee, and so what that does is basically saying you were the employee for someone or whatever, and the way you have to do it, you have to constantly say that I was working for this person for this amount, because there's a threshold for each person. Once you make over so much, or I pay you so much, as the CEO or as whoever I am, I'm supposed to give you a 1099 to say, hey, yeah, this person made this much from me. So they have to strategically say, like, hey, I worked at this house for this amount of time for this person. I worked over here, I worked there, I work here, or whatever. And now it adds up to the earned income so that they can get some credits. And so being king to that, it's just like, man, like, did you really do that from house to house? Where's the documentation for that? Where's a letter or something from these people to say that you were a household employee and not just a gig worker? Because if you're a gig worker, kind of going back to as a as an independent contractor, a business owner, you get self-employment tax. So that's the thing that people try to get around, in a sense. So they was doing the household employee, because if you're a household employee, you're not an independent contractor. So if you babysitting or whatever, you're an independent contractor. But if you're working as a babysitter at this house or whatever, now you're a household employee with certain other stipulations. You know, so like that's the difference. That was making the difference in refunds and stuff like that.
Okay.
And the crazy thing, the IRS gonna catch you. You got millions of people right now that want to do these strategies and do that type of fraud things. Now they refund on hold. Now, instead of you accepting the $5,000 that you gonna get, you over here waiting on $11,000. Now you gotta prove to them. Now they gotta come back and tell you that, okay, this is not valid. Now you done waited a whole year to get a refund when you could have just did it right the first time.
Right.
Like, stop trying to do fraud. They gonna find out. That's the thing. Like, I don't see how people could be so stupid.
Yeah, they trying to, like you said, they trying to scam the bank.
Right.
For no reason. The IRS, it's no point. Clearly, what I've learned from you right now is don't do it.
Don't do it, please. Don't do it, man. You get a better deal when you keep it real.
Okay.
You know, just keep it real. Understanding what's for you is for you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you, as long as the IRS say it's millions of dollars left out on the table, because if you don't know this stuff, it ain't like they're going to say, hey, you missed this deduction over here. That ain't their job. You get what I'm saying? That's your tax preparer job. That's the tax professional job to be able to do that. And so when you leaving money on the table, now you could have been living a little bit better. You could have got maybe be able to save up money to start a business, or put some down on a new car. Like, you could have been doing something better with the extra money that you could have got had you had a professional that could help you navigate this stuff.
Now, so you being a tax preparer, are there certain business owners that you like to stay away from? Like your barbers or your strippers or something like that?
Nah, they love them strippers, man. Hey, give me them strippers. Most strippers got kids, man. Most strippers got kids, man. I love the kids. Tell them strippers, them dancers, the dancers. They're entertainers.
Right.
That's what we call them in the industry. They're entertainers. Definitely, you know, I cater more to them, because if you look at it, if you have to dance or to entertain for money, I really want to help you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and because even kind of in our society, I don't want us to be known consistently, I would say, known as just we have to sell our body, or we have to expose ourselves or whatever just to make a dollar. You know what I'm saying? So like, if I can help you get out of that space by getting you a better refund, I have talks with my clients. Because again, we like family. You get what I'm saying? Like, what's after this? You know what I'm saying? How long? Yeah, I've asked the dancer, like, how long you plan on doing this? You know, like, for real, like, I'm doing your tax return. You got 3 kids. Like, how long you plan on doing this? You get what I'm saying? Where your kids think you at? Like, do you ever think about these things or whatever? You know, so like, being in the space that I'm able to touch a lot of people, and then it kind of goes into a mindset shift. For it, I want to give you something to think about when we get off the phone. As I'm getting you this, and getting you the biggest refund that you've seen, and I'm coaching you. I want to see you develop into a better person, not just come to me year after year doing the same thing. I tell my people, hey, look, you better make sure you change that W-4 form. Like, you ain't getting no taxes taken out. Like, you need to make sure that you go do this. And kind of back to the W-4 form, when you fill it out, if you've ever paid attention, or if you ever even tried The HR person can act. It's against the law for the HR person to tell you what to put on there.
Hmm.
So if you ever ask an HR person or ever have asked an HR person, they'll tell you like, hey, we'll just fill it out the best way you know how, because they can actually get in trouble for that. But like if you don't know, what you don't know will hurt you, what you don't know will cost you. I like the barbers, the strippers, the dancers, entertainers, the
Right.
DoorDash. Like
Right.
we all one. You get what I'm saying? It ain't no big I and little U's. Like I want to help everybody and impact as many people as I can at one time, and get in front of as many people as I can at one time, so that I can be impactful as I can. So if I can get one, now I want the whole DGs. You get what I'm saying? Now I want the whole Roxy's. I want all y'all in there. You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
now everybody, y'all can start having high level conversations while you're dancing. You get what I'm saying? You can dance like, hey girl, yeah, I just got my credit fee. Hey yo, they doing my tax. Yeah, I want it all. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? So that I help everybody, anybody, man. I don't run from nothing. I ain't never ran from nothing, but I can't say what I want to say, but I ain't never ran from nothing. You know, and I ain't gonna
Right.
start today. That's what Lil Wayne said.
Yes. Good, bro. Good. What else am I missing? You gave me a lot of game already. I've already learned a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What else am I missing? Am I missing anything else?
Man, and just within it, stay consistent, stay marketing. And that's where a lot of tax professionals do fail at. They want to market once a month, or they want to market in November or December, and taxes here in January. I market all year round. You know what I'm saying? Because when tax time come around, I'm constantly dropping game. I'm dropping gems. I'm asking people, my Facebook community or Instagram community, like, hey, look, y'all, have y'all changed y'all W-2s? I mean, changed y'all W-4s? I'm constantly giving game so that when it's that time, I'm the first person on their mind. And I've shown that I'm knowledgeable. I said earlier, with marketing, man, I was scared of it. You get what I'm saying? Because everything that I built was organic. From people telling other people and me just doing what I do. I don't know nothing about marketing now. Anything that you see me do, I don't know. I just do it. It's just me. And that's from the crazy stuff, professional stuff, or whatever. It's just how my mind works. I do what I want. You do what you can. You know, I'm a little nigga but big dog. I always said that, you know, even from way back when. So I walk in it. But with marketing, I never knew what I was gonna get. And so it's kind of like the no risk, no reward. You get what I'm saying? It's like I'm taking a risk with marketing, but like I know it works. And that was a thing that really helped me grow, because I reevaluated my business. I said, man, like, where can I improve it? And marketing stuck out. Because if I built all this organically to make 6 figures within 4 months, organically, with no pay ads, with none of that, and with no real graphic team and stuff like that, like, man, let me take a risk. Let me put some money over here and see what this thing do for me, because what I don't have nothing to lose, because I've never tried it. So if you want something different, you got to do something different. So I want something different. I'm going to the next level. I want my mentees to be right here next to me. You get what I'm saying? I'm building up and breaking generational curses and building generational wealth. That's my whole purpose in everything that I do right now.
So somebody watching right now, what's one thing that you recommend them to implement right now so they can save money on taxes? I know you said documentation. That's me being your student right now. I'm thinking documentation is what you about to say.
Yeah. Documentation is major. I would say for my W-2 employees, make sure your W-4 form is filled out correctly, so that you can pay the right amount of taxes. And understand this, y'all. It's not all about getting from anybody. You should not, and you should break that cycle of just wanting to take, because that mentality takes you over in your life to constantly want to be a taker and not a giver. You know, so like, don't think of taxes as, you know, getting the biggest refund. Just do your part. Just do your part. And if you do your part, everything else will fall in place. So definitely, I would say for my W-2 earners, make sure that you are filling out your W-4 form correctly. My business owners, documentation. Get documentation and structure your business out right. Stop using lilfat@gmail.com. You get a business address. Like, run your business like a real business and not a mom and pop shop.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so be real about it.
Hey, bro, appreciate those gems, man. That was cold right there. I really learned a lot of stuff, man. And it seemed like you got a lot of knowledge to give to a lot of people. How can people tap in with you? How can they find you?
Yes, sir. Nothing changed, man. Y'all can tap in with me on Facebook at Xavier Clark or Clark's Prestige Financial, Prestige to Prosperity, A Plus Tax Software, Instagram, Clark's Prestige Financial, TikTok, Clark's Prestige Financial. I ain't got Snapchat, but anywhere else, or you can always catch me at Billion Building Podcast for sure, because I'm here. Hopefully he bring me back. I think I done overdid it this time.
I'm gonna bring you back, bro. hey, listen, y'all. So this was a real masterclass. We didn't just talk about taxes. We really broke down a lot of strategies, a lot of myths, a lot of things to do, and a lot of things not to do. And if you don't know now, well, if you didn't know, you better know now. Zay is the truth. Zay knows what he's doing. Zay is that guy. I hope he becomes your tax professional because he knows what he's doing. He's self-educating. He's staying away from all scams, and he's going to help you at all times. So, Zay, I appreciate you for tapping in with me. And, hey, man, I got to bring you back, bro. I got to. I don't know what else you can talk about, but I feel like you can talk about some more stuff, too.
Most definitely, man. Anything, whatever direction that you want to go in, we can go in. I'll say this, man, just to understand. Me going through my processes, bro, like it has allowed me to honestly be able to tap in on any and everything. If on a spiritual level, because I am He. I am everything that I say I am. You know what I'm saying? It's no holds barred. It's no hidden truths. You know, I said all the time, the only difference between me and a lot of people is I let mine out. You got the same stuff in your closet. You just scared to open the door. You get what I'm saying? So as we begin to uncover and unleash, like you said last time, peeling back the onions, layers and layers at a time, man, we gonna get deep. we gonna get crazy. I'm ready, man. I'm gonna be standing by the door like this, like, hey, Mike call yet?
Because I know you also in the credit space and you're in the funding space as well. So I'm gonna have to bring you back on that, pick your brain some more on that. So, yeah, man, we're going to have you back, bro. You're going to be one of those fan favorites, man.
Let's get it, man. I'm here for it.
Hey, so this is another episode on the Building Biz podcast where we talk to real people doing real things, making impactful moves with not only just them, not only just their family, but in the community as well. This is another good conversation that I like to have with my peers, and I really call them my super friends because that's what they really are for me. And, yeah, just stay tuned, tap in. Zay, appreciate you, my guy.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.